Hello everybody, it's your nerd, Jordan, and this is the beginning of a series on my channel called OC Storytime, where I'm drawing my character and giving information about that character, such as backstory, personality, and etc. So if you would enjoy that and want to hear this voice for some reason, then get ready. I have several OCs, so you're in for a ride. Now, this OC is Monte, a 17-year-old who is a game jumper, a person with the ability to jump into games and interact with the environment, items, and people on a personal level that no one else can. Sort of like your dream if you're a gamer. Like my waifu. She got this trait from her father, who is also a game jumper, but never really used it to its full potential. A while ago, this is sort of off topic, but this is sort of like Dominic and her mother, Kimi's backstory. Dominic is a young black man who wanted a degree in game design, and Monte's mother, Kimi, a Japanese American who aimed for a degree in game design. And they went to the same college. And as such, they ended up taking the same classes since they had similar degrees. And because of that, Dominic fell in love with her. Or not fell in love, but more like grew fond of her. Like, he was interested in her. And after a few months, he ended up getting the nerve to ask her out. And lucky for him, Kimi said yes. After a month, she also grew fond of him as much as he did. Like, when he asked her out, she didn't dislike him, but she was interested in him. That's what drove her to say yes. And after half a semester, they liked each other a lot. And when summer break started, they ended up falling in love. This, since they wanted similar, job opportunities, they decided, or more like Kimi decided, that it would be a great idea to make a video game with Dominic. And he agreed. After that, she ended up getting her master's after... How long does it take to get your master's again? 4 years, I'm sorry. And Dominic got his bachelor's. And at that point, they were halfway done with the basics of the game that they're making. And they ended up having Monte after they graduated. Years later, Monte is about 7. Not about, I meant 7. And her and Dominic are playing their favorite game, Myths of Sicily, which is an alternate universe version of Legend of Zelda. If you care and you're a giant nerd, like I am, you'll want to make a parody of that game. Kimi and Dominic are also done with their game at this point and waiting for that big call with a big game company to make their game a reality. And Monte is just as excited as they are, since they constantly talk about it. Now, at this point, she ended up defeating the final boss of Myth of Sicily by herself. And Dominic and her are as happy as ever. And so he asked Monte to go get Sicily for him, so watch the final cutscene together. And so she leaves to get her. When she comes back, he's gone and nowhere to be found. Monte believes that something happened to him. However, Kimi thought too much of the situation and thought he just up and left. But Monte always had faith after all the time that has gone by. A week after his disappearance, Kimi got the call she was waiting for, and they began development of the game. Years later, she ended up leaving that company, making her own video game company and becoming a huge success, being a huge figure in the video game world. And after that, 10 years later, Monte right now is currently a junior in high school and the president of the gaming club at her school, which has only 3 other members and her best friends. Emanuela, a dark, mischievous girl, sort of like a goth, but not all dark and brooded, who aspires to be a witch. She met Monte in the 5th grade, and some boys were messing with her because she wanted to go into witchcraft. Monte ended up standing up for her, being the butting in type of person she is, and she ended up becoming good friends with her. Another member is Taylor, who is a very trendy type of guy, and he always keeps up with the newest trends, the newest news with celebrities, and is also a bit of a hipster. Always drinks coffee type of hipsters type of thing. And he met Monte in the 6th grade, where he was being bullied because of his new hairstyle. I'll probably draw him later, but his hairstyle was sort of cut on the sides and was really flowy and covered his face. And people made fun of him because of that hairstyle. Again, Monte butted in and she ended up saving his butt. And because of that, he ended up growing fond of her. He even has a bit of a crush on her now, but he doesn't want to ruin that, so he just decides to stay friends with her. And with Monte being Monte, I'll get to the personality part in a minute, but Monte is very absent-minded and doesn't know when people are making a move on her. So she is very absent-minded in a way. And the 3rd other member is Gina, who is an analytical disaster and bases everything off of analysis. She is the smartest girl in her class. She skipped a grade because of her intelligence, and she was supposed to be a sophomore when she became a junior. And dang, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. But she ended up becoming good friends with her after Monte got in trouble and was told to go to the library. And Gina was also in the library. And Monte was being a rambunctious teenager. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you when she met Gina in 8th grade. Sorry. But she was in the library and she was making a lot of noise, and the library caught her. When Gina took the fall for her, since she was very good friends with the librarian. And Gina ended up sticking with her, or Monte just ended up dragging her around, and Gina ended up getting used to it. And also, they may all seem very different, but they all have one thing in common. They all love video games. That's what got Monte the idea to start a gaming club, and that's what ultimately made her president. And Taylor became vice president, Gina became secretary, and Emanuela became treasurer. And basically it's just a 4-person club. It's also just a little place for them to hang out. They started this club in their junior year, and so far they have 3 gaming championship trophies. They participate in this competition every year. Not competition, but video game tournament every year, where they play their favorite game. It's basically an MMORPG, and they've won 3 years in a row. And that's basically their legacy. Monte is a very spunky, happy-go-lucky girl with a sass that punches. But she also has a temper when she gets angry. That's one of her downsides. And when she has a temper, she has a very bad mouth. And it's awful, honestly. But most of the time, she is very positive and always looks up on the upside. And that's what makes her a good leader and a good member of the club. The only ones who know about her game jumping abilities is the gaming club, and that's mostly why they are best friends. Not just because of that, but this new experience brought them even closer than it ever been before. No matter the odds, they always stuck together, like true friends should always be. I hope you enjoyed this look into Monte. To be honest, I think she's a little doll, and I hope to see you all on the next OC Storytime. Love y'all.